It's 7 o'clock. This is the regular meeting of the Breezy Point City Council. And for December 5th, 2016, first order of business is pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next order of business is the consent calendar. You have before you the council minutes from the regular meeting of November 7th and the special meeting of November 14th. You also have the approval of checks of claims totaling $384,000, $973.32, which includes checks, electronic checks 1639E, 1677E through 1678E, and check 1687E, and paper checks 133106 through 133113, 133117 through 133134, and 133136 through 133179. And then we also have the final pay for DeChantel Excavating for $5,087.37. Is there anything that you would like off the consent calendar and consider separately? Councilman Maroney?
No.
Councilman Schmidt?
Nope.
Councilman Williams? No. Councilman Bakken?
No, sir.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as shown. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
Consent calendar is approved. Next order of business is the open forum. Anybody wishing to have discussion with the city council may do so at this time. Come forward and give your name and address and speak your piece. Nobody coming for the open forum? The open forum is closed. The next item is the budget presentation. Joe, I'll turn that over to you at this time, and we'll have a presentation of the 2017 budget.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit about the 2017 budget. This is just a summary page showing the levies for 2015 through the proposed 2017. In 2016, we levied $1,798,063. For 2017, we're proposing a 5% increase, or $89,900. This brings our total levy to $1,887,963. This is a really hard slide to read, and I apologize for that. The top is the operating revenue budget. It's hard for me to read. Here in 2016, we had an adopted revenue budget of $2,316,563. The 2017 is $2,703,583. And then going down to the operating expenditure budget at the bottom, $2,301,018. And for 2017, it would be $2,692,663. Each year we look at finance accomplishments and improvements and goals and try to just summarize kind of where we've been and where we're going. I'm not going to read through all of these, but I do want to highlight a few of them. As I said, we looked at an increase of $89,900. The impact of that is a tax rate of 42.44%. This is a reduction from last year of 42.683%, about a quarter of a point reduction. Number three, the revolving capital fund continues to be a vehicle where we moderate expenditures for large items, equipment, and road improvements. The current balance in this fund is about $1.3 million. Let's see, number seven, assessment income from past improvement projects is being earmarked for road improvements. The assessment income was pledged towards debt service that we have prepaid or retired, and so therefore those funds become available for road improvements. Number eight is we only have one outstanding debt instrument. This is for the public safety building. It was advance refunding. The outstanding balance is $1,925,000. It'll be paid in full in 2024. Road improvements for 2016 were paid for out of existing revenues, and we continue to do that for future projects using existing resources rather than accruing debt. 12, with a fresh look at finance operations with new staff, we hope to improve and streamline those operations towards better efficiency. This is our operating revenue budget pie chart. It shows you where our revenues are coming from. The number one category is property taxes at 63%. The second category is other revenues at 18%, and debt service comes in third at 10%. Debt service is also property taxes. This chart shows a 5-year historical picture of each of those categories and how we're doing in each of those areas. Debt service is down a little bit, as you can see. Other revenues is up substantially. We're taking funds from the revolving capital fund and using them for resources in this year's budget to pay for road improvements and some other improvements. Intergovernmental revenues is up slightly, and you'll see property taxes is up. This is the 5% increase that we talked about. 2017 operating expenditure budget. The largest category here is public safety. You need to keep in mind public safety pays for the operations of the public safety building. They also have revenues that come in from the state and other resources to help offset their costs. Other general government is next in this category. Road improvements come out of this fund. Fire department expenses, insurance expenses, expenses that are citywide come out of this category. And then public works comes in third at 15%. And here again, we've got a 5-year expenditure comparison. You can see debt service is down slightly. Public works is pretty consistent with that of last year. Public safety is down just a tish from that of last year. Other general government is down a little bit as well. When we think about taxes, property taxes in general, we think about the taxing jurisdictions of the school, city, and the county, and there's more to it than just that. Referendums, like school bond referendums for building, can increase your taxes. Market value homestead exclusion can reduce your taxes. The way it works now is the homestead exclusion is a sliding scale from 76 to slightly over $400,000. If your property fits into these categories, you get a decrease in the market value of your property. So a $100,000 home would see a taxable market value of $71,760, and there's a decrease of 28% then. This will reduce your taxes and change your taxes in general. Market value, if your property changes in market value based on market or new construction or other changes in the property, that'll change your property taxes. Changes in the taxing jurisdiction as a whole. As we see development occur with new homes and businesses expanding, that adds tax value to the mix, and as such will change your value as you're part of the whole. And then classification changes. These are somewhat unusual, but a good example would be a residential structure changing to commercial, and that tax classification then changes. So in Minnesota, we have kind of a weird way of looking at taxes. We start with market value, and then the market value is converted to tax capacity. And with residential homestead properties, a market value is then taxed at 1% to get tax capacity. With commercial property, it's adjusted to 2%. So as an example, the residential homestead of $100,000 will see adjusted taxable market value of $71,760. This is the homestead exclusion amount. And then that's converted with the 1% to the $718. That's the value you're taxed on. $200,000 home would then see an adjusted market value of $180,760. Tax capacity, that is $1,803. Commercial properties, because of that 2% value, see a significantly higher value. $500,000 commercial property has a tax capacity of $9,250. A 2 million commercial property has a tax capacity of 39,250. This slide kind of shows you changes in taxable value and taxes over a period of 5 years. Starting in, excuse me, 2014, we see a tax capacity for the city of $3,945,459. Tax rate that year was 44.3889. 1% of that tax rate yields $39,455 in taxes. In 2015, the tax value increased slightly. In 2016, the tax capacity saw a pretty significant increase from there to here. And then for 2017, our tax capacity has gone to $4,445,009. This is an increase between 2016 and 2017 of $195,672. So that's the additional tax capacity of the city that we tax, or the taxes are applied against. The tax rate then for 2017 is proposed at 42.44, and 1% of the 1% of the rate equals 44,450. Just compare it to 2004 at 39,450. So you can see the benefit of additional value. This is a tax capacity trend chart for the last 10 years. You can see the highest tax capacity was 5 million. Oh my. I'm sorry, I can't see it. 5 million. 5,396,414. And the lowest tax capacity was in 2014, which was kind of the middle of the housing slump at 3,945,459. You can see we've gradually increased that tax capacity up to today at 4,445,000.
That lagged.
Tax rate history is also shown with a 10-year chart. The lowest tax rate we had was 31.41 in 2018. In 2014, which was the lowest value we had for tax capacity, we see a rate of 44.39%. And we've shown that value to come down just a little bit to 42.44% for 2017. So when you pay your taxes, where do they go? Well, the city collects 45% of them, the county gets 33%, and the school district gets 15%. So what does this mean for Breezy Point? $100,000 property, residential homestead property, in 2016 saw city taxes of $306.46. For 2017, that's proposed at $304.72, or a reduction of $1.74. $200,000 property in 2016 saw $769.57. Reduction of $438 brings it to $765.19. That $500,000 commercial property in 2016 pays taxes to the city of $3,498.18. With a $22.48 reduction, that gets down to $3,925.70. The $2 million property in 2016 had taxes of $16,005 or $753.08. With about a $100 reduction, it gets down to $16,657.70. So it's not always fair to compare cities, but this chart does in fact show the various taxing rates for city taxes throughout the area. You can see that cities with high tax capacity in Nisswa and Cross Lake have lower city rates. Cities like Ironton and Crosby have higher rates based on lower valuations. But an interesting thing I found this year was the average city under 2,500 in Minnesota has a tax rate of 72.6%. Region 5 has an average rate of 47.72%, and we're at 42.44%. So you can see we're kind of in the middle of the pack, and we're quite a bit less than Baxter and Brainerd. So I think we're doing well in terms of expenditures and revenues, and managing what we have with what we have the ability to spend. So with that, I'll conclude my comments. This whole presentation is on our website. We also have the entire budget on the website, the line items on there if you want to look at individual line items. And so with that, I'll turn it over to the mayor.
With that completed, council members, do you have any questions for Joe at this time? Councilman Maroney?
No.
Councilman Schmidt? No. Councilman Williams?
I do, Joe.
Yes.
I'm looking at, in 2024, when the public safety building is paid off.
Yes.
It seems to me you could take on something else, like a community center,
What?
and we wouldn't have a big effect, right?
There is a potential to save money at that time. There is also a potential to spend on something else. I don't know if I did this
Good
right.
question.
Just that, planting the seed.
Planting the seeds, yes.
You guys hear that?
There we
Put
go.
more fertilizer on it too.
Yes. It'll be green. It'll be green.
The annual debt service is, if I remember right, about 350,000, something thereabouts. So, yeah, there would be that potential.
Thank you.
No,
I
sir.
hope we all heard that.
No, sir, Mr. Mayor. I did.
It's on the record. So now at this point, we'll open up the public hearing for anybody from the floor that wish to ask questions concerning the budget. Public hearing is open. Anybody that wants to come forward? No questions on the budget? I'll close the public hearing. And at this point, I will entertain a motion for Resolution 1625 to approve the 2017 budget.
So move.
Is there a second? Further discussion? Councilman Maroney? None. Councilman Schmidt?
None, I just think, Joe, again, great job, and I was particularly interested in one of the sheets you had up there. You know, when you're going through tough economic times, I think that's when the good administration starts to show. I don't think the city has really wanted for anything during that
No, I mean,
austere time.
Exactly.
staff held their line as tight as they possibly could. We all worked together and we made it work.
Councilman Williams?
No.
Councilman Buchan?
Simple observation, and we can call the roll. I think it's fitting that Councilman Schmidt made the motion, and also fitting that Councilor Williams seconded that. I would like to echo also Councilman Schmidt's analysis of this was very impressive. Very, very impressive, and I learned a real lot that I even being on the finance committee, but you did a superb job, Joe, and thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All those in favor of Resolution 1625?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The 2017 budget is adopted. Mayor and City Council reports. I'd like to bring up the fact that this is Councilman Schmidt's and Councilman Diane Williams' last meeting, and as such, I'd like to present them with a little token of our appreciation. To Diane, and this is basically from everybody.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's
This is legal, isn't it?
yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I have to wait for January.
Between the two of you, you've had many, many years of service, and it has been a pleasure working with both of you.
Thank you.
And, you know, we've had our differences from time to time, but that is what we are here for, is to present the concerns and represent our constituents. You know, myself especially, and the staff, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Just wish you well. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mayor.
Wish to say anything?
I would, yeah. I would like to say it's been a lot of years. I've had the opportunity to work with a lot of wonderful people. I think our city is great. It's just been a great experience, and I feel privileged that I was entrusted with this position. And I hope I've done well. I've tried very hard to be forward-thinking and what's best for the city as a whole. So thanks everybody.
Well, thank you. Wish to say anything?
Yeah,
Okay. I've never known you to be a loss for words.
well, it's always tough to step away from something, especially when you're getting, down to the, I guess we used to say out west, the nut crunching, and you know that you're closer to the century mark than you were to when you hit 50. So it was as Diane said, it was a real distinction to represent the people of Breezy Point. It's a great city. It took me a while when I moved up here 12, 13 years ago to figure out that we were more than a resort. And I still think that there's room for growth in other areas to more balance out the tax load in this town. We're primarily a bedroom community. I've said that many times. I think the future looks pretty good for the city. I look forward to, I know you spoke to the new iteration of the comprehensive plan, and hopefully we'll be around long enough to have some input on that.
I'm writing down your name.
Yeah. And I just want to thank you all for making these 8 years an enjoyable experience. I can think of a lot of things I did for 8 years that weren't particularly enjoyable, but this one was, for the most part, very enjoyable. And yeah, we've had our differences, but that's what the democracy is all about.
That's
You
what we're
hash
here
them
for.
out, you leave friends, and it all works out. So thanks again, everybody.
And thank you. Council member reports. Councilman Maroney.
Nothing really to report, but just want to again say thank you to both Diane and Otto. I was actually going through some of my past emails, and Diane, I had emailed you some comments, and your reply back was to get involved with the comp plan that was just starting. So it was kind of fitting that I ran across that email just previously, and kind of kick-started the whole process of how I'm here today. So
That's good.
thank you for that. And both of you, thank you for kind of showing me the ropes. And Otto, I served with you in the P&Z when we first started, so we've served together for quite a few years yet, and I'm looking forward to a few more years hopefully, and really appreciate your guidance on a lot of things getting me here. So wish you best of luck, and hopefully we'll see you around.
Thanks. Anything further from
No.
Councilman?
I may see you around because I put in for park, so if you guys.
Yeah, what do you mean you made?
So, but I have to say, if I contributed putting you here, I'm really pleased.
Councilman Bakken, anything?
Mr. Mayor, no, both planning commission meetings were canceled, and I'm sure we'll see both of these distinguished folks in the future, and they know it's how my feelings have been on. Privilege to serve with these people. A privilege. Good luck, guys, and we won't leave you alone. We'll keep our eyes on you.
Next order of business is administrator and staff reports. We have the end of the year liquor license renewals for the Commander Bar, JJ's, Breezy Point Resort, Antlers, Deacon's Lodge, Primetime, Pelican Square, Billy's Bar and Grill. And these are for the conditions as shown on the memo there. Chief Merschman, is everything going to be in order? Is it already in order, or is it going to be in order? It needs to be renewed?
There are 3 people that have pending background, but as soon as we get the
Okay,
signed consent form, I can run them, it'll only take a few minutes.
okay. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the 2017 liquor license, subject to all the required compliance and documentation being submitted.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second. Further discussion?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is Highview out of the beer selling business, or are they a different time of year?
Theirs is May.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're over there in the winter.
You just want to know where you can buy your beer.
Yeah.
Cattle across the
Root
lake.
beer. Root beer.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? The liquor license for 2017 is approved. And that completes our agenda. I'd like to remind everybody that the council meeting for January will be January 3rd as opposed to January 2nd, because that's the holidays being observed on the January 2nd. So, meeting adjourned.